What's going on, guys? My name is Unknown680 and welcome to part 5 of the Minimum Input series. Today, we're going to be tackling base after base, and as I said in the previous video, there aren't any new mechanics to introduce for a while. This should mean that we shouldn't run into any problems input-wise, right? Well, let's just say that Geometry Dash is hilariously broken on a technical level. Stay tuned to find out more. I feel paralyzed. When you enter the level, you'll need to crash at least once while holding down, as you'll need to input carry in order to jump over this first spike while keeping the counter at 0. From here until 10%, simply follow the coin paths provided. Once you reach this platform right here, you'll need to perform not only one precise input, but two. Let me explain. First off, you'll need to jump off this platform as late as possible to even have a chance of clearing the obstacles ahead. Then, you'll need to hit this jump orb on the far right side near the top. This is so that you jump off this jump pad as far to the right as possible. By doing so and holding this input, you'll just barely have enough clearance to make it past this triple spike. Undershooting at any point causes you to crash into a spike. If executed successfully, your attempt should look something like this. Once you master that double input precision, continue following the coin paths as normal. It's important to note that at 17%, you'll want to jump as late as possible off this platform. By doing so, you'll just barely be able to make it to this platform here. Continue following the mini coin paths as normal, ensuring that you go for the main coin route here since it doesn't require any inputs. From 29% onwards, from the moment you hold on this jump orb, continue holding until you reach another jump orb. Once you head into the drop section with 20 inputs, ensure that you're still holding from the previous orb. By doing so, you can ascend these platforms without using any additional inputs. At 39%, ensure that you begin an input as far to the right as possible, so that you can squeeze through these two blocks and land in between these next two blocks. Regardless of whether you jump up to this mini coin or fall to this mini coin, you'll still end up in the same position, so no worries there. Continue from here as normal, ensuring that you go for the second main coin route by jumping off the platform here, so that the two portals will automatically skip platforms and thus inputs for you. Begin a hold input at 50% here and carry it into the ship section. You'll need to make use of the ground and ceilings of these pillars to minimize input usage as much as possible. All I can say is that you'll need to be quite precise and pay attention to the angle of the ship before beginning to hold or release. Here, grind along the floor and ceiling as normal and go for the last secret coin as it will save some inputs. Drop down at this point here back into the icon section. Now, this next input is one that isn't just difficult, precise, or even pixel perfect, but it can be best described as this dreaded word: inconsistent. At times, remembering that we are on 60 Hz, the player could jump off this platform at the latest possible moment, make contact with this yellow portal's hitbox at the very top, and continue holding as you clear these spikes. However, after so much playtesting and debugging, I just could not execute this consistently in any normal attempt, no matter what I did. It just happened whenever it wanted to. Perhaps there is some specific timing in which you can pull off this maneuver consistently, but I simply just can't do it. Because of this, the first version of the uploaded level won't require this input to be executed. We'll have to come back to tackle this at a later point, likely in the series finale. Fortunately, I was able to get footage of me successfully jumping over these spikes, so we're going to continue on, base after base, off this. For all you 60 Hz players out there, send me a video of you completing this level with one less input at this point, proving that you are indeed playing on 60 Hz. The first player who does this and completes the level with the amount of inputs that will be revealed at the end will receive a shoutout from me in a future video. Send it to me through a DM on Discord or Twitter using the tags listed here. By doing this input carried past this double spike, you'll just barely have the distance you'll need to jump along these next few platforms. From here, just follow the path as normal. At 80%, when you approach this pillar, jump just before the spike so that you jump off the pillar on the far right side, allowing you to clear this spike. Follow the path until 88%, where you'll need to jump at a decently precise time so that you can hold down this input all the way until 93% and clear this spike gap. It's better to jump earlier rather than later here. Now, for this final section in the level, there are 2 consecutive inputs that are precise. For this first precise input, you'll need to jump close to this spike so that you jump off the right side of this pillar. The problem is that jumping too late causes you to crash into this spike. This practically makes this input pixel perfect, as you'll need to jump at such a time that you just barely make it past this spike and reduce your distance just enough so that you can clear this spike. The next input is also quite precise, as you'll need to jump as close to this spike as possible so that you can clear both the triple and double spike. One last tap input between these 2 spikes will bring our overall input total to 42. Checking in with our global input counter, this brings our overall input total to 205. That isn't too shabby for 5 levels if I do say so myself. All that's on my mind now is that really finicky input after the first ship. That inconsistently drove me slightly insane when I was investigating it on stream as I was testing it in the editor, in test mode, and in normal gameplay. Because of this, and from playtesting in future levels, I've started developing a theory that the physics in this game vary depending on which mode you're in, or depending on the duration of one's attempt, as they progress throughout a level. That and GD physics are just jank in general. Call me crazy, call me weird, but that's what makes us all special at the end of the day. For now, I'll upload VID with a variant of the level that allows for 43 inputs instead, so that we don't drive ourselves crazy for now. Remember that this series will always be based on theory crafting, and not reliant on actually verifying these levels. I'll keep you up to date on that situation with this input in the pinned comments and or description, so be sure to check there for updated info. With that, thank you all so much for watching. Submit a video if you can manage to tackle that input, and I'll be able to keep the inputs the same in the chart. Otherwise, I would have to increase the chart by 1. Which honestly isn't really that big of a deal, in my personal opinion. Anyways, that's all from me for now. Stay awesome, stay safe, stay healthy, and peace out.